our studio, and keep in mind, during this whole process, I mean, we were insanely busy with, our client. And so we were just consumed with client work and skate bench stuff. And then, we're putting this stuff together. But even during this chaos, maybe me more than Chris, probably. But I was finding, what's that?
We're doing screws.
I was finding a lot of beauty in this. I was just, I was taking these photos, and I mean, just the sheer quantity of these things in our studio, even though it was ridiculous, it was really somewhat beautiful. The way these frames would stack up and nest together was just really great. So, our studio became manufacturing and fulfillment at this point. So we got all these things from 6 different vendors in our office, just boxes upon boxes. The UPS guys loved us. Our old office was on 39th and Main, and the freight elevator, this is a dumpy building, the freight elevator was broken. The passenger elevator worked half the time, and here we're shoveling out all of this skate bench stuff. So what we learned during this whole time is that fulfillment sucks. And I would rather be contacting people and doing PR all day long instead of doing fulfillment. And I didn't really get anything. It was pretty much Chris.
Chris got his fulfillment merit badge during that project.
Yeah. So it was really great. I mean, these comments that people then in return would give us were just fantastic. The fact that he was able to give it to his nephew for Christmas, and the fact that this was only one of the few projects that were the goods on schedule, nicely done. And that was our goal from the beginning. So it's our goal with our clients, and it's our goal with us, and that's just something that just doesn't waffle either way. So if we're going to get it done, and if there's a date, that's what we're always aiming for. So, I mean, people were sending us photos of the skate bench that they would do. They'd be like, I can't tell you how much we love this thing. This is great. This guy did that custom for his wife and gave it to her for their wedding anniversary. And it was all the places that they've been and traveled together. And it's just really cool stuff. So, all this is wrapping up. Fab orders are out, that's out. And then I get to go to the Tony Hawk Foundation, hang with Tony Hawk, meet Tony Hawk. Get to talk to him about skate bench. He's like, it's cool. I'm like, thanks, so trying to be cool. It's pretty all right. So that's his deck, Birdhouse are his boards, so that's his deck, and that's at the auction. And the auction was crazy, that's some famous dude, you've probably seen him on movies and stuff, but there's some famous dude or girl walking around all the time. And I met a lot of really cool people. And the Tony Hawk Foundation is a friend of ours. We've made friends with this company called Art of Board, where they take old decks that have been thrashed, cut them into little tiles, and then you can use them as backsplash in your kitchen or bathroom. So really great friends with them. Mike Valley, I don't know if any of you guys are skateboarders. He's a friend of ours now. We talk quite a bit. We're talking about collaborating on stuff together. It's surreal in some ways. And a lot of these guys are just the nicest guys in the world. So it's a lot of fun. So now that we have our real product, our new real product, we then rephotograph it. These are the things that I'm most proud of, is that just the simplicity of this, that this is 2 pieces of metal that are welded together, and you don't see the seam, and that it's just a real simple weld on the back. How simple can we make this, and how beautiful can we make it? Those are always the goals. It's our Christmas tree one. So, Fab was like, hey, we want to have it on again. So at this point for us it was great because we were funded, we were on FAP twice, we had sold out of our first line, we sold out of our second order, and then our manufacturer quits on us, and we're just like, at that point we had our own for sale site up, it was humming, it was doing really well, and then it came to a halt. So, we had these six different vendors at the beginning, and we were like, okay, we know what we want to do because remember, fulfillment sucks, right? So now we have one vendor. So it was important for us. We could have gone overseas. We had a lot of people overseas interested in this. We wanted to keep it local. Talent is local, and we're basically a fun project for them. So we talked to them at the beginning when this first started, and they were like, no, no way. And then we talked to them again, and they were like, yeah, you guys are, it's a legitimate, we're excited about it. So they're the Boeing Supplier of the Year. They make aerospace parts. They do stuff for other clients, and then they're now making space vegetables, which we think is awesome. And we were excited about all the details before, but we couldn't be more excited about them now because the attention to detail on their end is insane. So
It's like they made planes or something.
yeah. So anyway, the greatest part about this now is we don't do anything. All we do is write what we do. We write checks. That's all we do. So, we should have had the parts now, but the machine went down. But in another 2 weeks, we should have product. This site's sitting there, ready to go. So once we have product, it'll be back up again. We have an open invitation from Urban Outfitters to be on them. We do another fab sale. So we're excited to kind of get going back in this whole game again. But not being really in the game, just kind of getting to enjoy the fun parts of the game. So, and you can see we kind of whittled down our line a little bit too. We just have 2 frames now. We have the stainless and we have the white powder coated, whereas before we had 5 colors of powder coated frames. And we still will have colors down the road, but to keep it simple for us, which means cost, we have 2. But even, it's still out there. It's still crazy. So I have a friend in New York who emailed me Friday, and he's like, holy crap, did you see this? And I go, no, what? And he said, Sandy Bodeker just put a picture of Stick Bench on Instagram. No way, really? And you probably don't know who Sandy is, but he's the VP of global design for Nike. It's kind of a big deal. And so, we were just like, geez, that's awesome. And so, and then that's Mike V. Obviously, I said, good friend now. And you can see he came out with his own board line. Let's see, really at the beginning of this year, came out with his board line. And so for the Tony Hawk Foundation Stanford Skate Park event, which is this Sunday in Hollywood, which I'll be going to, we gave Tony Hawk Foundation 2 frames. We gave him one to put his board on again, and then I called him Mike and I was like, hey, you want to do a collaborative on this? And you sign it, we'll get the frame, you do the deck, and it'll auction off. He's like, of course. So he's traveling. He sent me the deck. He's going to sign it at the event. But so it's still moving forward. It's a blast. This weekend. So this weekend the event's on Sunday. So Sunday gonna hang out the event with those guys. On Monday gonna go surfing with a few of them. And then Monday I'll be back in the studio. So not bad for a boy from Kansas City. So this is where we go back at 15 minutes. To date, we're at 872 hours of time spent since we started. And that's not even the initial part. That's just from when we decided we'd do this Kickstarter. So, let's see, I think I'm bragging now. 15 minutes, 872 hours. It's a lot of time. So, if you want to do something like this, be prepared. Be prepared. But well worth, I would say, well worth every read. So, what about you? I don't know if this is something that you guys are interested in or not. Kickstarter, like people ask me, would you do a Kickstarter at 10 a.m.? And I go, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I think it's a great form. I also kind of feel like it's lost its luster a little bit. It's kind of like the band that you saw that they weren't known and they're awesome and then they become big and I don't really like them anymore. That's kind of maybe where I'm at with Kickstarter. They're kind of getting too big. And they're starting to do some weird things now too, which are completely different than when we did. This is something that they actually came out with 2 weeks ago, which changes the game for anybody who wants to do a product on it. Which they basically said we're not a store anymore. We don't want people to think that we're a store because some people got burned. And this is the main point that hurts a lot of you guys if you want to do it, is that product simulations are prohibited, which means no renderings of products. So you can't have renderings there. You have to only have photographs of your prototype facilities. So, good luck. I mean, it would have been hard because, there's a balance here too. So like, on the left, we had this prototype, we had it ready to go, we knew we were going to be fulfilling these orders if it happened. There wasn't any question to us. There's a lot of people that are up on Kickstarter who put something up there, they make money, and then they walk away, and nobody gets their product that they order, and it's kind of become a problem. So there's this conversation going on about this now. But for us, when we launched on Kickstarter, we had 3 frames. I mean, that's all we had was 3 frames. And I guess we could have photographed. Now I'm thinking about this now. So I'm problem solving now. We could have photographed them. We could have painted it, photographed. Painted it, photographed. Painted it, photographed. Painted it, photographed. That would have sucked. But so like the left, those are 2 renderings that we had up on Kickstarter. We also had images of our prototype. But these are the photographs of our real thing. And we can get close on renderings. But photographs look so much